Yesterday, you made an announcement that you're not running for the governor of California.
Correct. Yeah.
You said you're going to sit this one out. Why are you sitting this one out? Are you saving yourself for a different office that might be?
No.
Obviously, people project onto you their hopes and dreams.
And honestly, that it's more perhaps basic than that. Listen, I am a devout public servant. I have spent my entire career in service of the people. But to be very candid with you, I had to defend my decision to become a prosecutor with my family. Why is it then when we think we want to improve a system or change it, that we're always on the outside on bended knee or trying to break down the door? Shouldn't we also be inside the system? And that has been my career. Recently, I made the decision that for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I think it's broken.
Wow. Well, it's broken because she fucking broke it, this piece of shit, and her friends.
You know what?
The cackler in chief.
I can't help it. I have to say this is going to fall down to the department of Mark was right, and by that I mean Mark Halperin.
Well, it's shocking that she didn't do it, and I think it was the book deal that really did it. I think they will not reveal the amount of money she was given for the book deal, and I think the book deal was a payoff to not run, to not out the Biden administration, to not criticize the Democratic Party. I didn't know that was coming. I didn't know about the book deal until it was revealed this past week. I didn't even know she had a ghostwriter working on this book. And now the book tour is coming, Eric. So as we know now, these books are really bribery.
Yeah, and I mean, Joe got one. Why not her?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying you have to think through it. What is the purpose of giving her one? It's twofold: not to run, and also to shut your trap about the Biden administration, because as easy as it is for her to walk into the governorship in California, it must be something, as she said, that is her entire life's work is to be a public service. What would deter her from literally walking into the governorship? Maybe a $25 million book deal from Knopf and a contract to shut the fuck up about these pertinent issues. Now, she is sitting on and owns the entire grassroots campaign lists of the entire DNC. She is holding that hostage, by the way, just to get into the weeds about this thing, because it's more than her just not running. Mm-hmm. It also allows me to stay in California, because that was my Alamo, by the way. If she became governor, I didn't tell you, but that was my Alamo.
I was waiting.
So some people around my circle are happy that we're not packing.
Oh, hold on. I never counted out that you guys can find somebody worse. I mean, let's look at obviously Chicago got rid of Loretta Lightfoot, got somebody worse. So I wouldn't rule it out. Maybe Karen Bass could be your governor.
She's not. She's running for mayor again. But the people that are in the ring right now are not draconian enough to force me out of civilization. She was. And I thought for sure she was going to take the brass ring, simply because of how easy it is and how there are no really big name candidates in the race against her. So what forced her not to do this? And I believe it's the bribery of the book deal, whatever the nuts and bolts, and they're not revealing it. And they do reveal it in the past. We do know advances and book deals. This one, they're being kept top secret, Eric.
I heard the rumor is 20 million. I did see that
I'm just saying that off the top of my head. I just pulled that out of my ass.
No, I saw some articles speculating 20 million. Don't know for sure, though. So.
Right. Either do I. But the point I'm trying to make is with the 25 million, there's also stipulations to get that. They assign you an editor. They assign you a ghostwriter. That goes with the territory. But what are the stipulations for the book tour? And what is she signing to not to accept this money? And in there is the deal itself. In other words, the non-criticism of and I'm just making this up because I don't know what the stipulations are. The non-criticism of Joe Biden, the relenting of the list to candidates, the subscriber donation lists that she's sitting on. It could be a lot of different things in that deal that we're not privy to. And she took this deal as opposed to running straight up for a $200,000 a year job as governor of California, for 4 years and exposing herself to the campaign press, Eric.
Well, and somebody around her might have said, "Hey, you remember the guy Richard Nixon? It didn't work so well when he ran for governor of California after losing, as vice president." So I don't know if
Right, but
they're wise enough around him.
again, all the donor base did not turn against Richard Nixon like the
No.
Democratic donor base has clearly turned against her. They do not want to see her.
No.
According to sources on the left, she is dead on arrival. So this may be the best that she could get out of this situation that she's currently in. Let me just put it that way. Apparently, she wants to raise money for Democratic causes, but the people who are the donors don't want to see her.
Yeah, well, I was teasing you because I was like Mark and then Halpern, because
Oh,
Halpern
yeah.
has been saying for months now she's not going to run for California. He does have some good sources that may be paying out, but he also said the other day, when talking about it, he said that he talked to a major Democrat donor, one of those that you'll know the name, he can't say whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, well, what about, is this 2028? What's going on? He said that the guy, individual, looked at him and said, Mark, she will never be president.
No, I heard that. I understand that. And I mean, my prediction was just my own hunch. I had no sources. Like, he's got real sources. I don't have any of these sources. My prediction was just the obviousness of walking into the governor's mansion, with nothing left to do politically. But I did not know about this book deal. And I think there's more in that contract than we're ever going to know. Unless somebody leaks the contract. I'd be fascinated to know what's in that contract of stipulations.
I'm fascinated to see the books come out, because they were talking about it this morning. If she comes out and tries to pull her BS with Biden, they were like, oh, you're going to see every drop about how they were trying to train her, and she was a complete disaster. She made,
I think you're freezing up a little bit.
probably
there.
so much Oppo research in there, or Democrat stuff that's going to drop on her head. That
Right. I
people
mean,
have never seen it come.
I haven't heard any revelations about the book. It seems like her and her husband discussing what birthday present to give her. This may just be a book light with no dirt in it whatsoever, which would indicate even more so that this was a bribe. In other words, if you don't need the dirt to get the book deal, if you don't need to sell something to get the book deal, the reverse is true. The reverse is true when you're not having to either make up some bullshit about JFK to get a JFK book deal, or to make up some shit, or tell the truth about Joe Biden, like Fuckface did on CNN.
Tapper.
Jake Tapper, right. So for Jake Tapper, he has to go to the well and say, this is what I'm going to talk about. This is dirt. This is dirt. This is dirt. Give me $2.3 million. And they go, okay. When you don't have to do that, that means it's really just a bribe.
Sure.
If there's no dirt in the book, the dirt is in the contract, is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, I'm quite certain. Yes. I mean, it's the last payout. You have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't just give you $20 million. So here, we'll hire a ghostwriter, come up with some BS. And I wonder if she'll even, I'm sure that the book is going to be bullshit, a stroke job. It's going to spend most of its time probably talking about her childhood and how she came up and became a prosecutor, and she's the first prosecutor, and her VB time will probably be shrink down into like almost an afterthought.
And in fact, they may have a leftist organization purchase 200,000 to 300,000 copies coming out of the gate to justify its New York Times bestseller list status. If the sales are projected to be that weak, they may just purchase the bulk of them and take them off the market right away, which they've done before.
Oh, also, anytime she goes to do speeches, that'll include an automatic couple thousand books or whatever for however many she's talking to. They buy
right,
them
but again, it's if you saw the later aspect of that show with Colbert, she was at her cackling top, Eric. I mean, she was really on cackle memo last night or the night before with Colbert. The book tour is going to expose her to even more ridicule and word salad, as Dan was talking about with Mark Halperin the other day. The book tour itself is going to be excruciating for her.
Which I think is great, because this is like, is it going to be Kamala Unchained? Like
It was Joe Biden unchained
like
at
down,
the national lawyers thing he was at yesterday. He was unchained yesterday, Joe Biden.
Well, apparently he had to be guided to the microphone, though. So that part.
Boy, he needs the money so bad that he's willing to take that physical journey to do that speech. Yikes.
Well, if you want proof of that, just look at Hunter's interview. Hunter's
yeah.
Everything about Hunter tells you the dire straits that they are in. That is one bitter guy who's saying we have nothing. We've lost it all in that interview. That's what I saw.
Well, I also saw the little piece of the Pelosi thing where she was combative with Jake Tapper, and has made $200,000 or $174,000 a year, but is somehow worth $141 million. I mean, I would call her under oath before the House Oversight Committee and have her lay out her entire economic picture and how she got to have that incredible wealth based on $150,000 a year public service salary.
Okay, how do you feel about that legislation, by the way? Because that's the Pelosi Act, Hawley's legislation, which Trump liked for a minute. Then he was saying that Hawley was a second-rate backbencher, essentially senator.
I haven't looked at that yet.
And
I haven't looked at it, but I am happy about Hawley's $600 stimulus check and all the rest of the money going into the national fund to pay down the debt. Where are the nasty anti-tariff people now? $2,500 per family, $600 per American as a stimulus check, with the rest of all of the money going to pay down the national debt. And that's just now. Tariff money is pouring in every second, Eric. I never understood the anti-tariff rap. And in fact, now Bill Maher has apologized to Trump.
Bill, pretty full-throated. Brian Tyler Cohen, who is a leftist activist, MSNBC guy.
I'm not an economist, but I never understood the criticism of the tariffs. It seemed like a no-brainer to me. First of all, to get money. Second of all, to balance the situation. And third of all, to wield it as a political club against people or countries that are not going to toe the line. Whatever your line is.
I think that's the Milton Friedman libertarian influence. And the problem is this, and even Milton Friedman has addressed it in the past. He said that he's open, for open borders. Libertarians were open, open borders, people, free trade, all that stuff. But Friedman himself said, I am for that, but if there's too many benefits, we can't have the open. So the problem is that our system is not an actual free market. And as long as we don't have free trade, well, then the tariffs are something to kind of help balance it, to put the thumb on the scale, say, wait a minute, if you're going to legislate and you're going to put in laws that's going to block our trade, well, then we have to do this to make up for it. If it was,
I think he's going to leave 10% on everybody across the board forever, to flip what was going on the other direction. Or more. No, but I'm saying the UK is at 10 and depending. Right. But I'm saying I don't understand why other presidents couldn't figure out to use this as a political weapon. Never mind the money part. I mean, look, again, we discussed this yesterday, you and I, privately. The support of the Palestinian state, which is obviously they're rolling it out nation by nation. And he got to Canada and Trump said, good luck with your trade deal. Good luck with your tariff, paraphrasing. He's using it as a political weapon. Forget about the topic. Forget about the subject. That's what presidents should be doing in general, using the clout of the United States to line up other nations for your particular political foreign policy. And he's doing
it with Brazil too.
He did it with Brazil, with the Bolsonaro people. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. I never understood. They may have just been weak leaders, Eric, right?
It's a combination of that, and it's the way we've done things. I think that, to last time, I think tariffs were really talked about, and it's part of why he wanted to rename Mount McKinley back, was McKinley, who was the biggest tariff president. But then I feel like we slid into the world wars, and then it was like, oh, well, now we got to bend over backwards to rebuild everybody. And you know how it works. Once you start something, it's like it's nearly impossible to get rid of it. Tennessee Valley Authority, that's still going on, that temporary thing.
Yeah. But the Western Europe alignment now, as which they apparently have schemed behind his back for this, unbelievable. And now Germany, the Third Reich, coming out to support the Fourth Reich. I mean, Germany of all countries, the chutzpah to support the Jew-hating Hamas fascists. Oh man, this is a rough road to hoe for Germany. UK, I get it. You were there with the British mandate and back in the days. But Germany, really? You want to be aligned with Hamas Nazis at this point in your political careers? Whoa.
I don't know. That is weird. Well,
that is weird.
Somebody's pointing out Rolls-Royce is owned by BMW, Germany. So
right. Well, look, we're talking about, you and I, about the Weinstein interview with
we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to ownership of weird things. I mean,
we got to get to that clip. But before we leave Stephen Colbert, he had a rally apparently to say, "Hey, save Colbert, save Colbert."
You know what's amazing? If you don't pay these protesters, they don't show up.
Yes.
This is a pay-to-play industry now, Eric, and apparently he only paid 20 of them.
I mean, not to compare, but actually, you know what? To compare, last year, I threw a birthday event, and I had more people than Stephen Colbert, who was trying to save a show. So
I mean, but who are these people? Who organized the 20?
Oh, I'm sure they're legitimate people. It was in New York, dude. If you can't find 20 people in New York, I mean,
I can't believe you can't find 200 people or 2,000 people in New York.
I know that tells you exactly where he is.
I don't know. He may not have paid the right person. It might be a monetary thing.
I'm telling you,
I'm hearing the show was losing $40 million a year now for multiple
40 or
years.
50.
50 they're not. Yeah, I've heard as much as 50.
Depends on it. Well, you know what? With pharma in trouble right now, they're probably pulling their ads. They're like, "Oh shit!"
Right. I didn't think about that.
No, also, syringes.
I reached out to the anti-Semitism envoy for Trump, the rabbi, who was working on the Dodger problem, about the Comedy Central South Park situation with the first episode with Paramount. We're going to see what happens with that, because I believe that it is actionable under new deep fake pornography laws in New York and Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. It came up today. The consensus today from Ron Coleman, who's anti-defamation law, does defamation law, whatever. He's saying that they're probably fine. But
we'll don't know. All you want to do is get to discovery, Eric.
Yeah, no, I mean,
because Comedy Central, they admitted that they did everything internally to block it. For legal reasons. I mean, nobody's denying this now. So, what was Comedy Central's reason for trying to block South Park from showing not a cartoon? This is not animation.
People. No, that's why it's this one's
right. Again,
I think it's towing the line a little bit, because
I have to be clearer on this channel with every fucking thing I say. Because this is an AI deep fake of Trump as a phony PSA at the very end of episode 1 of season 27 that was released after the Paramount deal was announced as a fuck you from Parker and his partner. And Comedy Central begged them not to do it, blah, blah, blah. It is shocking, showing full genitalia of a body and a head and a man. That's Donald Trump. How they did it is AI, obviously, Eric, right?
No, I believe that's AI. And also, the thing is, so you're getting into some really interesting law period here, because I think you're thinking about the deep fake angles. I'm thinking of the revenge porn angle.
That's another angle.
It's kind of a similar
You're right.
Principle.
That's another one. But there's a lot of leeway here, is what I'm saying. There's a lot of wiggle room to make this actionable against Paramount, which is the parent company, and now Skydance.
Yeah. Well, and we'll have to see. I mean, it is that question of satire. I forgot who it was versus Hustler. There was a
right, but again, this is an AI documentary PSA filmed version of Trump doing a PSA as a Jesus Christ figure, with a complete nudity, exposing testicles and penis in the desert. not a cartoon. I can't emphasize this enough. I know it's difficult for people to understand.
No. It's very real, and that's
right.
the
Right.
and
That's
that's
the
the
actionable
person.
part. That's the actionable part. Not the Trump cartoon character with Satan. That's been done by them quite a bit. And there's no harm or foul with that. That is parody. That is satire. This falls under another new area, which already exists, as Eric's lawyer friends have admitted.
Well, and you know what? Ann Vroom in the chat brought up a good one too. Melania supported the Take It Down law, also out of covering some of the AI stuff. Now, I just want to point out that I bring up the AI and the revenge porn angle because there are, for example, high school boys who are making fake.
Just yesterday here in the news. Yesterday here in California, in SoCal. High school, same thing here.
And people are going to prison for CP for doing that. So
not only that,
so far ahead, we don't know where we're going.
The rule now in Hollywood is that you need permission of the star to do this type work. They, of course, did not get Trump's permission to do this, but that's the current state of the law in celebrity Hollywood culture in Southern California. California is a state law, is you have to do this work, which a lot of people have agreed to it on certain occasions. Because of a bad shoot or a busted shoot or a bad angle on a camera shot, to AI the actual star for a brief couple of seconds in a film, Eric. And you still have to get their permission.
This is where it gets tricky, though, because South Park, in what they're doing, are pushing it into the obscenity angle so hard, because I've got another example I'll share.
Okay.
Which is actually using somebody's real image. I think this is obvious parody, and it should be, this is allowed, and because nobody would confuse this with reality.
Right.
Look, all we're saying is that we want representation. Okay. If Republicans are going to have beautiful girls with perfect titties in their ads, we want ads for Democrats too. We want ugly fat bitches wearing pink wigs and long ass fake nails being loud and twerking on top of a cop car at a Waffle House because they didn't get extra ketchup.
So
I understand that, but
that's what I'm saying. So, but I think this is where it gets really weird, is because of the physical representation of Trump that is, so bad. But the parody, I don't know.
Again, this is done by Paramount Pictures. This is not done by a kid in his basement in Indiana playing with something on the internet. This is Paramount Pictures releasing this moments after they made a deal with Trump and signed possibly, according to Trump, possibly a $40 million payout. And part of the payout, it's 20 and 24, I think, or 20 and 20. They're denying the second half. Trump is saying it's close to $40 million, the payout from Paramount. And he wants it to be used for PSAs. That's why they did the parody PSA. It was another fuck you to Trump for the money. And Paramount, by benign neglect, approved this. They approved this.
Well, because they were so desperate to get South Park that I think they gave them full creative control.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you get into discovery, and this case may not be winnable, that's not the point. If you get into discovery with Comedy Central and Parody and Paramount, you're going to get the emails and you're going to get the text messages to Parker and his partner saying, you got to stop this. This is defamation and libelous for us. And in there is the victory. That's what happened with CBS. That's what happened with Stephanopoulos and ABC. That's what Trump should be pursuing because it is outrageous.
So far, I haven't heard that he is, so I don't know.
I know, either of us.
And he is very thin-skinned, so I mean...
I thought this was a no-brainer.
His lawyers must disagree, or he's getting...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Keep in mind, I myself ended up in federal court under parody law with National Lampoon with my Sexual Jeopardy, the home game, which Merv Griffin said was a copyright violation, and the judge read it, laughed out loud in federal court in New York when I was an editor at National Lampoon. So I'm well aware of parody and satire laws. This, however, is a new universe with deepfakes, as Eric and I, and the prawn thing that Eric is talking about. This is not the same as parody and satire.
Again, we're going to face this constantly. The technology is moving faster than the laws that we write and know what to do with. I mean, That's like copyright law. We're dealing with the DCMA from 1979, I believe,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, yeah.
so antiquated.
Yeah.
That's pre-web, pre-internet, I mean, everything we have now. It's a very difficult situation. So the lawyers are going to have a good time.
Yeah, they'll get paid.
Oh, absolutely. So, okay, on to our second loser of the week, and I hope you enjoyed the thumbnail. I thought that was a fun.
Yeah, they look like
was-
they're screaming like banshees, these two.
Well, it's a wonderful pair. So I'm like, hey, I haven't been able to put Kamala and Hillary
You
together.
know what? I meant, yeah. Do you ever see them together? Or you ever hear about them together?
I've never
I don't
seen
remember
them, in the
them
same
ever
place.
being together on any political cause or anything.
Never in the
Are
same
they
room.
arch nemesis?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But when you don't see people together in that
Who
world,
are women
you
in the
don't have to wonder.
Democratic Party
Which,
who
yeah.
have been in the executive office? I find it odd that they're not both hosting something.
At least one event. Well, it's
Something. I don't remember anybody in the chat, if you know, where some event where Hillary and her were together as a duo, not 75 other people.
Even what about the Democratic National Convention? When
Okay.
when Kamala got nominated, did Hillary give a speech?
No,
She
it's
wasn't there.
weird. It's
That
weird.
seems odd. That
You know,
the
they may
last
just
candidate-
be, opposed to each other as,
I'm sure.
yeah.
I'm sure. Meow.
You said it. I didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to
cats,
say it,
man.
but I let you say it. Okay, what do you got now?
All right, so let's discuss the documents that are coming out.
Boy,
We're
this is why I was
more.
saying this is the story, not the other story. This is what we have to focus on. I've been talking about this on X all week. This is the major story of our generation.
It's coming. Well, and the thing is, and I think where it's so hard is the scope is so wide. It's not only this incident, it's also 51 people signing off on the laptop.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you're
a
absolutely
whole
right. You're
Legacy
absolutely right.
of crime. I would almost say this is a RICO type of situation.
Yep, that would be one way to handle it.
The Dems love the RICO. They want to do that with Trump, but could we not say this is a conspiracy?
This is
that's been
Rico.
going-
See, Rico. Yeah, see?
Anyway, so that's what I think gets really difficult because everybody wants to parse it and say one part, like, well, Russians did buy Facebook ads. Okay.
$100,000 worth.
Right. But you see, they're trying to parse it and cherry pick their way through.
I know.
Really, it's an overall quilt.
So you think the RICO
chicanery.
thing would be better because it would be a blanket?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
I
do,
could sign on to
because
that. I could sign on.
How do you get the people at the top, who are doing this, especially you've got those players? It feels like RICO also statute of limitations goes away when you're talking about an ongoing conspiracy.
Well, also
Now all of it rolls
to
in.
be fair about the statute of limitations, what other experts have pointed out is the longer that Brennan et al. Continue to bring this up, resets the statute of limitations clock, conspiracy or not. It is them resetting their own clock every time they go on TV to discuss this crime, according to legal experts. It's not me. I heard this multiple times this week.
I've heard that as well. Yeah.
Right. So they're resetting their own statute of limitations clock by continuing to try to knock this down, which is wonderful for me. Keep making more statements. But the RICO statute may be quite apropos here. I'd love to hear Giuliani's take on it. A guy who literally invented the RICO statute. See what he thinks.
Well, it just to be perfect. I mean, you had Fani Willis doing it. I now do it the other way. I mean, it's really.
By the way, she's still down there doing her thing, despite everybody's prognostication.
Reelected in landslide.
Yep, and despite everybody saying the opposite. I never bought on to that crazy train.
Well, you have your firsthand experience of L.A., and I'm sure your mayor will be reelected with a landslide herself.
Absolutely. I mean, the situation now here is so out of control because they have no homes being built and legislation being passed for multifamily structures, and now the fire aid scandal, which I was on top of this thing from day one about fire aid and the money being dispersed not to victims, but to various leftist NGOs who claim, well, we had a food bank. You didn't show up for it, but everybody else did. Sorry you didn't get your fire aid benefit, honey. Not one person we have found has received money yet. And the feds have moved in. The FBI has come in, Eric, this week. So this story is not going to go away. When people who don't know, there was a huge benefit out here with mega names of rock and roll saying that every single cent, repeatedly from the stage, every cent was going to victims of fire, of the Palisades fire and the Altadena fire. And in fact, the complete reverse is true. Not one nickel has gone to them.
No, I agree. And okay, before we go too long, we've got to talk about Candace, and everybody watch along with us, and just tell us if you agree. This is our opinion. I mean, we're just asking questions, like Tucker, just asking questions. Okay, guys. So this is our opinion. We're just asking questions, and I want to know if you think that she might be fishing for something.
What do you have to lose?
Well, you may set this up a little bit easier. Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
This is a man named Harvey Weinstein, who in this particular video is in prison, I believe, in Rikers Island because of his ongoing trials beginning to melt away, being thrown out of court. So he has been, usually they keep you near the courthouse when you have ongoing situations. And he's either in Rikers or I don't think they sent him all the way upstate yet. However, somehow he's allowed to do media, which I find to be shocking because usually they clamp down on this stuff in New York State. They're quite brutal about this. And somehow Candace Owens has gotten a phone interview, FaceTime phone interview with Harvey Weinstein, the former owner, co-owner of Miramax Films, with his brother, Bob Weinstein. Dozens and dozens of Academy Awards, whatever you think about Harvey Weinstein, a legend in the film business, Eric. And one point, Obama's daughter was working for him as an intern, which is what I think started this whole thing. That's just my opinion.
Right. There's been a couple other interviews. I can't remember them offhand.
I haven't seen them. Yeah, I haven't seen
them. No, not him, but big name people.
It's like, rare though. Even with the Menendez brothers, it's rare. Even with Menendez, they do not want media interviewing Sirhan every week for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And I understand why. I mean, Charles Manson was literally the first one to be cut off because it became so overwhelming. There might have been others, but I remember the Manson story. It just became too overwhelming, and they said enough of this, media request. Remember how many media things Manson did?
Oh God, he was like damn near a regular. You could
right.
It's the yearly
Geraldo Rivera with Manson this week and cooking recipes on ABC. It just became a circus. Anyway, I just wanted to set it up who she's talking to here. Harvey Weinstein and one of the biggest film libraries of successful films, not B films, not Harvey Corman, Roger Corman films. Right. I'm saying that film library of Miramax is worth far more than even MGM because of the quality of the films. When you sell a film library, which MGM has done and studios have actually done, the price goes up depending on the quality of the film. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. But his had so many Oscars, so many films that made money that I believe that's why he's still alive. And that's why he still has money for lawyers, was because of the sale of his film library. But okay, so I just wanted to set that up. Thanks.
Because you had a lot of power. You had a lot of power.
I can't say who.
Why not? Why can't you say who? What do you have to lose?
Because I'm not sure that I'm right.
You say, I think. Maybe. I really want to push you on this point, Harvey, because I think it's very significant. I mean, you had the greatest movies that were in Hollywood. You had a lot of power. And I'm wondering if there was anybody in Hollywood that you may have been fighting with.
Anybody in Hollywood? I don't know. Is there anybody in Hollywood? I don't know what she's trying to. Okay,
at that time, just anything that could have been going on, because I think there's something bigger happening here.
There wasn't a fight per se, but the establishment, I would not say, was my friends.
Right, and what is the establishment in Hollywood?
The establishment. What is the establishment?
Yeah,
we're really driving. This is investigative reporting here.
Who is it?
It's normally the big studios, but I can't say that they were part of this.
Right. No, I'm just wondering, who in the end, who owns all those movies now? Who owns your catalog? What happened? We sold
the catalog to a company called Be In, you know what I mean, which is owned by the Qatari government. And we sold the other
Touche.
part of the library to a company called Spyglass and Lantern, which is owned by the Saudi Arabian government.
Candace, what
Very
a
interesting.
letdown.
I'm asking these questions because
Oh, it's so sad that you didn't hear Jew at the end of that. Oh my God, what a plot twist that was, Eric. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Now I do. There is a follow up from her. I will grab it.
Oh my God, what an embarrassment.
It was just a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. And he doesn't have an agenda, Harvey. He's just telling her where they were sold.
Well, because he's confused. He was actually confused by the question, in my opinion.
Right.
He was like,
Right.
What?
You know, and as I told you before the show, it shows you, among other things, the deep involvement of the Middle East now in our pop culture and film culture, including Qatar, including these payments to people like Tucker Carlson. They're trying to buy into America. And I don't blame them from their point of view. They got tons of money. They're trying to buy American influence by buying our film libraries and paying different talking heads to do their bidding, which is PR 101, Hunley.
100%. Now, this is her. I got to let her answer because she followed up to that video going viral.
Wow.
And this is her addressing it. And
yeah.
And notice when you listen to this, if you notice anything missing, any particular names or places or anything missing.
of course, the Zionists right now are online. They pulled out a portion where I asked Harvey,
Zionists online,
who is allowing this to happen to you, right? Because this is crazy. And Harvey answers the question. I was like, did they want your publishing rights? Like, what's happened here? And they are now saying that I introduced those questions because I was trying to get Harvey to say, it's the Jews. Harvey is a Jew. It's the powerful Jews. Harvey was a powerful Jew. Why would I try to get Harvey to accuse himself of putting, like, it's the dumbest thing ever, but I appreciate the Zionists for these dumb takes because what they do is free PR.
Well, she said Zionist 3 times in the sequence.
Oh my
right?
gosh, dude! There has to be an investigation into this woman, and at least lawsuits by people, because it's so off the rails now. I mean, she's now claiming that Harvey was the leader of the Jews and he sold the films to someone and wouldn't reveal. She kept asking him who runs the studios. And
I know. Let her finish.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Far for me. And so now people are going to watch it thinking that this really happened. And I was trying to get him to say it's the powerful Hollywood Jews. Yes, I got him. Got the powerful Hollywood Jew. I made him say that he put himself in prison. And of course, the Zion.
Now, what did she not mention in that little response? What was missing? She said, I asked him a question, but who bought? And he answered, and went right to Zionists again. Oh, we forgot to mention Qatar. We forgot to mention Saudi Arabia.
Of course.
Isn't that interesting? This little reframing side to side. And I'm pointing that out because another thing she's been throwing around is I have trouble saying that. Elie Wiesel, or the Nobel Prize winning author.
Elie Wiesel?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. She's going after Elie Wiesel now?
Yes. By talking about how. No, you got to get this straight. Okay, she's saying that Robert Maxwell is cousins of his, and that he. So first off, she's saying that he has been proven to be not really a Holocaust survivor.
What?
Conclusive. No, this is Candace.
That's where it goes, bro.
And that he is the cousin of Robert Maxwell. She got in a fight with Grok about it because Grok was saying, "Oh, you're full of it." So then she said, oh, yeah, well, it came from the authorized biography of Maxwell. Well, guess what? I found a copy of the biography and I looked up Wiesel or whatever. I just searched the name and it did come up and it said, Elie Wiesel, a distant relative.
What difference does it make?
Well, how do you get cousin out of distant relative? Because
the
not
point
exactly
is, what difference does it make? I mean, the majority of Jews in Western Europe were eradicated from the face of the earth. If there's 2 living, surviving Jews who are related, what is it, a conspiracy?
But dude, that's my point. She's sitting there saying cousin, and then she's trying to say, no, I proved it by his book. It's like, saying something's, I'm distantly related to King John, for God's sake. Does that mean that we're tight? No.
No, but what I'm saying is, to quote Hillary Clinton, what difference does it make if they are first cousins or brother and sister?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole, I've talked about that.
I don't get it.
This whole theory is, did you know they have an accountant?
Okay,
And his
so
name.
This started. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
it's just too much, because this started with President Eisenhower when he was General Eisenhower at Dachau in 1945 when they liberated the camps, and Eisenhower said there's going to become a time in American culture when they deny this ever occurred. And this is in 1945, and he forced the townspeople of Dachau to come in and view the incredible savagery of the Nazis in Dachau with the corpses that were there stacked up, and he forced these townspeople to actually go to work and start stacking the corpses into the back of these trucks. And he said famously in that video, which people can find, that there's going to come a time when people are going to deny this ever occurred. And I wanted this on record, filming it. This is General Eisenhower, Dwight David Eisenhower, after the liberation of Dachau, saying there's going to come a time when they're going to deny this ever happened, which is why he filmed it. And that time has come, Eric.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much on her.
I'm glad there's members of the MAGA right who are embracing this fanaticism, because unbeknownst and unannounced to them, they have made themselves the strange bedfellows of the Marxist left, the Iranian mullahs, the Hamas Nazi groups of the savagery of Hamas, and have embraced also the Western Europe policies on Israel in one of the strangest bedfellow combinations I've ever seen in my life regarding MAGA. Now, this is not all of MAGA. This is a portion of MAGA. And they are going against President Trump. They're going against Marco Rubio. They're going against RFK Jr. They're going against Tulsi Gabbard. They're going against Israel. They're going against the American conservative Jewish voters for reasons I still don't understand. They refuse to acknowledge that these people I just mentioned are their political allies, for better or for worse, whether they embrace them or not. The useful idiots in this MAGA movement, who now have the same position as the political Marxist left of the Democratic Party and Western Europe and Hamas and Iran, is breathtaking. I can't even get my mind around it. And yet they refuse to acknowledge this symbiosis with these groups that they normally would never engage in a million years. But for this particular issue, they're willing to die on that hill and cause immense harm to the Trump administration, immense harm to the midterms, immense harm to the reelection of the Trump platform in 2028. For reasons that I can only imagine is money, money, money from Qatar, money from the Saudis, money from the Middle East, and people like her as the lead spokesperson of this insane movement that the closest thing I can remind myself that it sounds like, which we've talked about on the show, is the America First movement led by Charles Lindbergh in the 1930s, embracing the Third Reich. It's the only analogy I can make at this point, but holy cow. I mean, this situation has gotten so out of control where they're now denying the existence of the Holocaust.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it is funny.
But you don't understand, Mark. We're giving money to Israel and they are starving babies. It was on the front page of the New York Times. You don't understand.
The one they retracted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm new to this game. Like the phony videos that Hamas has been making and the PLO have been making since 1975. Like, this may be new to you, but it's not new to us. They've been caught 7 million times doctoring and making videos of the injured and the wounded and the babies and all that hazarai. And yet the New York Times continues to perpetuate this. Like they continue to perpetuate the denial of the Holocaust, putting it on page 35 in 1942, 43, 44, and 45. The New York, same paper, same newspaper. And there's books on this, entire books just on the New York Times denial of the Holocaust while it was happening and afterwards, Eric.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because for whatever reason, she decided to go full tilt, and she had on Nick Fuentes, very, very famous lover of No, I'm not going to say Israel guys or Zionists. He just says Jews.
Yeah,
So
I like him better. I like Nick Fuentes better because he's got the courage of his convictions. He is the Joseph Goebbels of this movement. Joseph Goebbels did not bother to say Israelis or dark-skinned people or swarthy people. He went right for Jews, Joseph Goebbels. And I credit Nick Fuentes because he has the courage of his convictions.
Yep, but didn't go well because Nick didn't think much of Candace and made little videos talking about. So now Candace, in her uproar with Macron, everything else going on, where does she go? Oh, how about Tucker? So back to Tucker here.
Oh my God, he's the mastermind of this whole thing, the puppet master.
He's
Holy
the top dog here.
He's the top
I've been
dog.
around a long time. I know it when I see it.
Yeah, and I will say I don't understand it. We were very kind to him. Like I truly, we almost said we felt maybe he was a bit lonely. We should invite him back for dinner. I mean, that's how good of an experience I had.
It's clearly it's
and then
sad.
it was a 180. So it's either it's being driven from a little boy insecurity, and he just was so worried that he just went on the attack because he doesn't know how to have normal relations after being banned everywhere.
Well, I think there's that
could be one element.
The angry gay kid thing going on.
Yeah, or it's the what you're saying where he does this, he's lying to everybody and pretending that things are one way when it's not. I can say
why is he attacking Joe Kent, who, Joe Kent worked as a CIA contractor, paramilitary contractor.
Anyway, I'm not going to go dwell on that. Everybody,
boy, these two are a bird of a feather. I mean, they're all the chickens are coming home to roost under one barn roof here.
I just think it's hilarious, and then we'll get Myron Gaines into the mix at some point. Oh my, it's just crazy, and they're like, well, I don't understand why did Catboy not like us? I'm like, well, Candace, maybe he doesn't only have problems with Jewish people.
Yeah, usually it's both. I mean, I'm doing a deep dive on George Lincoln Rockwell right now, trying to remind people what it was like with the American Nazi Party in the United States.
We did an episode on that. On the fights that went down. Or whatever. I forgot the name of it.
There's a few rare books out there. They're very expensive, which I've ordered on Rockwell because it's come back full circle, Eric. It's George Lincoln Rockwell time again on the American right. That's why I'm digging into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with uniforms. It's got nothing to do with dressing up as a Nazi. It's about the ideology, anti-Jew ideology of Rockwell and the American Nazi Party. They tried to focus more on the racial thing, but he was an equal opportunity offender regarding both the Jews and blacks.
Well, like I have said to you before, and you've agreed, you're new to the quote unquote right, and this has been around. I told you that it was out there. Charlottesville did happen in 2015, 2016, whatever. And those were tiki torches. Now, there were obviously some feds in there because you can't have a good Nazi or KKK gathering without at least, some token feds. But it's out there.
I wish they would investigate. I wish they would investigate because I thought that was an entire Fed operation. I wish the oversight committee would get into that and find out if you're correct or not. How much of a Fed operation was?
Oh no, there's real people who really.
I don't know that. Where do they live?
Well, I've interviewed one of them. He's the head of the former head of the American Nazi Party. So
no. But I'm just talking about that Tiki Torch rally in Charlottesville. That particular event looked super organized, like a Fed, like we've seen a bunch of times where these Feds have pulled up in masks, Eric. No one ever does a deep dive as to who these phony patriotic organizations are. I'm not just talking about the Tiki Torch one.
Sure,
and I have seen a bunch of these other ones where they come out of buses and they're all about the same size, age, and Fed looking. And yet they come and go and nobody ever does a deep dive on them.
Yeah, polos and khakis and yes. One way you can tell is usually the people there start yelling Fed.
Yeah.
So
I'm just wondering what part and how much of that was a Fed operation. I don't know in Charlottesville.
All right. People. Somebody said, when do we become the DNC? What? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about there.
Have a nice time.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the strange bedfellows of members of the MAGA right in bed with the DNC on Israel. They had to
and
stand. Yeah, no, it's don't come to me and Eric and cry like a bitch.
no, and those
We're
people who are
trying to
saying
point
we're
it
all
out.
Democrats, you're full of shit, okay? Because there is Jared Taylor, Richard Spencer. Go look it up, okay?
Yeah.
Read Michael Malice's New Right, everybody, and then get back to me.
Right. Not only that, I mean, Trump's policy is what I'm sticking with. I voted for Trump for his policies, foreign and domestic. I didn't vote for him and say, hey, where'd you get this policy on Israel all of a sudden, bro? You know, I mean, I voted for him knowing full embrace of what his policies were. And I'm supporting him. I hope everyone else just puts their prejudices and bigotry back into their clan closet long enough for us to survive the midterms and to retake the White House again in 2028 instead of putting out these flags on your front lawns ideologically.
Totally agree. But here's somebody who is going to disagree with you.
What else is new?
Alec Baldwin, I think, disagrees with you on Trump, but he's having his own issues. Apparently, his lawsuit against the Rust prosecution has been thrown out. So I think it's over.
Okay, I'll just add this to it. I'm going to add two things. We kind of saw that coming. But number 2 on the hit parade is now his wife, Hilaria, has announced a possible 8th Baldwin child in the making, which means that they have paid out to another surrogate, I presume, to create yet another Baldwin. Who is going to father these children is nobody. They're going to be
watching that show.
I'm trying to give you an update. We're up to possibly 8 Baldwins. There's 7 now. This is a 67, 68-year-old man. She's in her 40s. I presume these are surrogate births. I'm not really sure how they're going to pay for all this. But that being said, I highly recommend this movie for the weekend. This is my movie pick of the weekend. A film called Malice with Alec Baldwin, Nicole Kidman, Bill Pullman, and Peter Gallagher. It's a thriller. I'm into these 1990s Hollywood thrillers now that have been overlooked. And I hadn't seen this movie in 30 years, and it holds up. It's a film called Malice where Alec Baldwin plays a surgeon. And holy cow, is it a roller coaster ride. Nicole Kidman is incredible. Bill Pullman as the cuckolded husband, and Peter Gallagher as the lawyer. That's my pick for the weekend.
All right. Sounds good. Let me see. You know what I want to talk about? About coffee.
And then I sent you a new list afterwards for the other thing.
We'll definitely talk about that. But I first want to address coffee, because we have the best coffee out there. And there are some people going around advertising other coffees. They might be confused on a different day. But the original great coffee flavors are America's Untold Story flavors of Supreme Breakfast Blend and the Magic Bullet Blend. Any other coffee, I mean, if you want some flavored foo-foo coffee and you don't really like coffee, they have that too here. But the best possible coffee that you can check out is America's Untold Stories blends here. One is a bright, robust blend, and the other one is kind of a richer, fuller blend. And I think you will definitely enjoy that. You can hit the QR code right here on the screen. There's a link in the description. Check it out. I have not seen any bad reviews or anything else. Everybody has truly enjoyed it, and I'd love to see you check it out as well. Now, Mark, also want to talk about November.
Oh yeah, because she sent me a thing, an update of speakers for people who are thinking of coming to the Kennedy conference. There's a new list here which I haven't looked at myself. I sent it to Eric.
She sent it to me as well.
Oh, good. Okay, so Tannenbaum is on there.
Tannenbaum is on here. We've got a lot more speakers. Before I'm going to say it early.
Paul Blau is on there too. Look at Paul.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to say early, though. When you order, use Untold 10. We'll get back to it, but I just want to
Oh yeah.
focus on that. Use Untold 10. You can see it right there in the bottom left.
Untold 10, that would help.
You really
Matt
need to do
Dothert,
that.
yeah, a lot of these people are good people. I think it's in alphabetical order.
Yes, I think
Larry Hancock, Groden, Grobert. His wife is into Tippett, apparently. His wife, Robert's wife, has carved out a niche regarding Tippett, according to people in charge.
Well, maybe she'll do something with Matt Douthat or Douthit. Sorry, Matt Douthit.
I don't know. But this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it'll be our meetup for the end of the year meetup in a way, because so many people from America's Untold Stories are willing to drive there and live there. Yeah. And show up there from our universe, which will be fun.
Well, and one of the great benefits too is Dallas is a hub.
Yeah.
A lot like Vegas and other ones, and it is very easy to get a direct flight into Dallas from much of the country. And unless you're so far away, but even then it's still going to.
I would fake an injury and make them drive you around after you get out of the plane with one of those golf carts. This is my new dream, which I'm going to discuss with Larry Charles on Wednesday, the director of Borat and the director of Masked and Anonymous, who's going to be on my show, the other channel on What's Up with Lord Buckley. Larry Charles, one of the original founding writers of Seinfeld, and I will be discussing how to commandeer a golf cart at an airport when you're too tired to walk through Dallas Airport, which is 800 miles of airport. I'm going to discuss that with him because I want to see if this idea has any legs. Because I see these people waving me goodbye, Eric, with drinks in their hands as I'm dragging my luggage through the airport in Dallas, and they're just laughing at me. As the driver takes them to the next terminal 18 miles away in Terminal 2. The people who know Dallas, that airport, it's miles and miles and miles between gates almost. And you somehow are supposed to get there. It should be an Olympic event because they make the connecting flights so close. You see people running for their lives through Dallas Airport, and it should be a sport in the Olympics. For people who can make those connecting flights. It's really sadistic. But other people, from what I understand, are now feigning injury or some sort of disability to get the golf cart waiting for them at the gate. And there seems to be no proof that you have earned a golf cart, if you know what I'm saying, Eric. Yes. It's just your word. So I believe this is going to come to an end because because
this is like emotional support animals. Remember that was going on for a while, and and it would be like, this is my emotional support parrot. It's like,
right. I saw four people, two couples with drinks in their hands who were in their 50s laughing as they were being driven from the plane like it was something out of Stripes, the movie. I mean, and I'm just lugging my thing behind, being honest about my lack of disabilities.
Well, I mean, one way to quickly fix it is to offer it as a paid service.
Well, that may occur.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. You put a tax on it, and then all of a sudden it'll slow down. Oh, but if you really are injured and you can't make it, guess what? There are virtual tickets too.
Oh, to this you're talking about? Yeah. You don't have to be there.
Yeah. Use the same code, Untold 10, and it will save you on virtual tickets as well.
Right. So, and what about the squiggly thing? What do you do with that?
The squiggly thing, also known as a QR code, like on the coffee, you put your phone at it. It'll take you right to the site. You'll remember Untold 10 because that doesn't come with the squiggly QR code, but you have to remember Untold 10. So that way you get your discount, get the credit for it, and we know that, hey, you're with us.
Yeah, people can talk to Robert Tannenbaum about his JFK book. If you bought it, you could bring it with you and ask him to sign it and talk to him about the book itself.
All right. Marcus being snarky. Now, one thing that you don't want to happen, though, is, well, I don't know. It depends on how you look at it.
What?
Hopefully your flight is not the subject of a raid for a co-pilot when you arrive.
Can you believe this reception this guy got? I mean, he lands in San Francisco, and like 10 federal agents of different
10
agencies.
DHS.
Oh, it says 10 DHS agents.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why they needed 10.
They're not messing around.
They're not messing around. I mean, what is he going to do? Take off in the plane and flee?
I don't know. I mean, you wanted a perp walk. There's perp walk.
There's your perp walk. That was a good one.
I mean, holy cow. Can you imagine that?
Apparently they got their man.
I think so. Well, now again, I don't know. He's
allegedly.
Right. He has not been convicted as far as I know.
Right.
So, he has a trial and everything else, but whew,
just like the trial I was talking about in Washington State with the Sharia law trial, Eric.
You see, that's the Mark Grobert was right one. And
okay, I'm batting 500 today.
Yeah, you are.
I'll take 500.
Now, that one was, what was it? You actually put it out there. Somebody, by the way, when you share stuff with us on X, it does make it into the show. Somebody shared that with us on X, and that's why we're talking about it right now. Same with locals. We do appreciate input. We don't see everything.
A number of weeks ago, I said about this case in Washington State. There's twofold aspects of the case. It was a Sharia law type case where the parents were honor killing their own daughter who refused on video, strangling her on video, refused to take their plane ticket and fly to Iraq to marry this 60-year-old man who she never met. This girl said, I'm an American citizen, and I'm not flying to Iraq to marry some guy you made a deal with. So they decided to have an honor killing. And they began to kill their own daughter. And this was interrupted by people who saved her life. Thank God. I predicted that. What's that?
I said, thank God.
Yeah, no, thank God. And it's recorded on video. And I predicted at the time that this couple will walk, because instead of enforcing American law, the judge in Washington State will enforce Sharia law. And that's exactly what the judge did. It wasn't a tough prediction. I've seen other hints of this in similar cases in the past 10 or 15 years, where they defer to Sharia law. And this is the only culture in the United States that refuses to assimilate. And the courts on the left continue to allow them to not assimilate and let them use their own laws. And this includes, I want to say, others that I've seen in this regard. The closest thing I've seen were clitorectomies done with African descendants here. And I thought we were over that, because that also was ended up in court over some victim daughters. But this one, the honor killing one, this was the biggest outrage I've seen in decades. The fact that they were just given a slap on the wrist and told not to kill their daughter again.
Yeah. And I'm blown away by that, because it's like anything to excuse it. What about the daughter? Well, screw her.
She's an American citizen. Why does she have
that kid? Yeah. I mean, it's so horrible.
It's a multi-level problem, because they're honoring a law from another culture within our own legal system. That's problem number one. Number two is she's an American who survived an attempted murder by her own parents. So she has no rights, apparently, because this amorphous Sharia law that is adhered to by the Muslim right apparently trumps American law.
Oh, it does. I mean,
yeah,
for them, it absolutely does. I don't know. I'm not sure. And from what we've seen, though, Seattle or the Northwest, it seems like all that may be so far gone. I don't know how they're going to get out of it. But you know what?
Well, I mean, Mormons can't marry 8 women anymore.
That's true.
The same thing would be true if they allowed each religion to have their own laws within the United States, but they don't. It's only this one.
I agree. My only hope is that sometimes it's got to get so bad that the backlash, corrects it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm pretty cynical on it. So we need a brief moment of comedy relief because that's a dark subject. So let's look at our representative Indian in Congress.
Hey, no. Hey, no.
She just is standing there. Oh, hi.
Hey, how's it going? Hey.
Whoa! Look at the guy in the wheelchair helping up this crippled Elizabeth Warren. A guy in a wheelchair is helping her.
Are you sure it's a guy? I mean, come on.
I don't know what the guy was doing there, but somebody in a wheelchair.
I don't know. But maybe
Let's see that again. This is right out of the Three Stooges. That was like right out of the Stooges. And over here, I'm kind of on them.
All right.
Hey, how's it going? The Ativan's kicking in, and
whoa!
Heinrich, Hirono, Kane.
Have that removed.
Senators voting in the
Chief Sitting Bull. That's funny.
Baldwin,
oh my God.
Rochester, Durbin,
Yeah, some guy rolling by in a wheelchair. Look at this.
Yeah, it's a female, I think, with the hair.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see.
Unless Jamie Raskin's in a chair.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't know.
Who's that up on the top? Is that Rand Paul or someone up there?
Yeah, I think that is Rand Paul on the. Maybe.
Look what goes on in this Senate while you're busy working at Walmart all day, people.
Are they in recess? I thought they were in recess for like 3 months.
Well, there's somebody there. She can't even stand up. That's how weak they are. How symbolic, Eric. I mean, obviously, anybody can fall over, but the symbolism is breathtaking.
What was it like? I think a week or two ago. Yeah, I think it was a week and a half ago or something like that. They determined, oh yeah, they're going into recess until after Labor Day. I'm like, man, I got the wrong job.
August. It's 3 weeks of August, I guess. I mean,
well, all of August.
Well, what do you think would be better? Them taking individual vacations?
I don't think they need to shut it down. How's the rest of the world managed to continue?
Well, I don't know because we see how that runs.
I mean, you don't want my opinion. As far as I'm concerned, they should be in bunk beds in a barracks when they come to town.
Okay.
Believe it or not, Ben Shapiro, I liked his idea where they have to tour around. I would love to have a Congress,
the country that moves.
Yeah, that has to sit in different states to.
Oh, that's great. That's a great idea. I would go for that.
Anything to separate it versus this whole going to.
They
DC.
had a massive town hall meeting out here in Encino last night with the police because of break-ins and murders and everything else. Where she continues, Karen Bass says the crime has gone down. So the meeting, which had hundreds of residents, a very upscale community out here in the valley, had the chief of police, the mayor, and everything. Mm-hmm. It was so threatening to the people that they insisted on having it on Zoom. So the town hall meeting did not appear live. It was on Zoom because the people who lived there felt too threatened to come to the town hall. And then she kept saying that everybody's safe and they're in their homes. I mean, the irony is breathtaking. They're in their homes out of fear of going to the town hall meeting to complain about the fear of going to the town hall meeting. So they did it on Zoom, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people who live in Encino on Zoom yelling at the mayor and the chief of police who kept telling them that crime is down. It's all in your mind. Wow.
You know what? I think they're secretly afraid that Alex Stein is going to get on a plane and show up to the meeting. So they've got to have Zoom meetings in case he shows up.
Well, they do have live town hall meetings downtown LA every day before the city council, which is always a circus. It is like a Stein meeting anyway, without Stein downtown, because the homeless people come in, they take their 2 minutes at the microphone, ranting and raving and saying crazy crap, and they cut them off. Then the next homeless person comes in, and it's all day. It's all day. It's not even a real town hall meeting, but they're legally allowed to come up and spew for a minute or whatever. And then if they keep going, they're removed by the police.
I've always thought it was interesting that all these town hall meetings, et cetera, that they do are in the middle of the workday. So, the people that are driving the economy, the ones who are actually at their jobs, working, adding value so they can pay for their property tax, which helps fund city.
Well,
why is it that they don't have the
best example was
7 at night or something?
This elementary school was brought in to see how the sausage worked, and they were sitting there. About 100 kids were brought in by buses, and the homeless got up to do their normal thing, and they were screaming, "You can suck my motherfucker!" And the teacher was like, "Okay, children, back on the bus." And they had to
and I could see the kids were like, "Oh, I want to see more."
Yeah, they were just screaming foul invectives, having nothing to do with the children. They didn't care the children were there. But right before that, one of the city council members says, "We'd like to welcome Robin School 382 from Studio City that's here today, elementary class. We want to thank the teachers. And now our first speaker is Raul. You motherfucker. Let me just say, you cocksucking motherfucker." And okay, children, everybody back on the bus.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Definitely need to do that. Okay. So I saw an interesting thing going on because they're talking about, the jobs report is cooling. We might have problems. What are we going to do? Okay. Well, I want to set the record straight on it a little bit. The job market has cooled. They've added fewer jobs than they expected.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But
and they laid off
what?
a million government
foreign
freeloaders.
workers.
Oh,
so
no.
it is.
Hunley, that's terrible. That's terrible.
I'm just saying it's causing a little bit of a disruption here. And it's like, if it's foreign workers, well, that's not quite the same thing, because apparently the American workers, it's been going up.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And also the reduction of part-time jobs because they're getting better full-time jobs, as pointed out by one of the economic analysts.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that anything is permanent. Obviously, there's still negotiations coming in and things like that, but I wanted to be cautious in the word out there, because obviously they're trying to find anything to say it's a
their
failure.
biggest nightmare would be a booming economy under Trump, Eric.
Well, and it is booming right now.
Right,
So, yeah,
I know.
they're like, please, where's that inflation? Please, inflation.
No, but I mean,
please.
the point of the matter is, right, they're obviously opposed to it, but the question becomes, how do you hide a booming economy from your own constituents? Because that's their goal. How do you hide it?
Mark, they don't believe, they're saying that a man can be a woman. So a booming economy could really be a recession.
There are homeless in LA who have not one, but 2 box homes now. That's how good the economy is booming.
They've gone into refrigerator boxes?
No, they have 2 refrigerator box homes and a little spot next and better furniture. I mean, the homeless people are booming here.
Yeah, and the tiny houses are being built.
Tiny houses. They're going into tiny houses and masturbating, smoking crack. It is the high point of the homeless culture in history here right now in LA.
Well, I never want to get in the
They've
middle.
never lived better as homeless people than they are right now. They bring them meals right to their door. They bring them drugs right to their door. They bring them new crack pipes right to their door. They don't even have a door. They have a box, and yet this box gets mail delivered, mail-in voting ballots delivered. The census comes and counts them. Their crack comes, their schizophrenic drugs, their general relief money with their card. The cash from that comes, which I think is still about $350 a month or something. It's quite a life.
Hey,
the weather is great for this lifestyle.
That's true, but you know who is not having a great time of it now?
Ooh.
Apparently, Las Vegas is in trouble.
Oh boy.
They have been losing massive income that are coming.
What?
So their occupancy,
what is it, lack of conventions or something?
Well, okay, look, their occupancy dropped to 66.7% in July, down nearly 17% from last year.
Ooh.
That's a
get
huge
back into
drop.
get into the Trump Hotel for a weekend.
Yeah, you could definitely get in there. And they've got the steepest national declines in the average daily rate of revenue per room, down 29% year over year.
I'm going to Vegas. This is great news.
Gaming revenue fell by 2.2%. And then the strip is down almost 4%. I mean, it is a dire problem. And
wow.
It's not really surprising to me. I'm just surprised that it hasn't happened already. There are reservations, and not even reservations anymore. here in Virginia, of all places, we have a casino that is
Oh, you
in
do?
Portsmouth, and they're
Like
building
an
another one.
Indian casino, Eric?
I don't even think that they bother with that anymore. I think they might have. You know what? They do the was it land acknowledgments?
They do?
You know, no, all over the place. So my theory is that maybe they're doing a land acknowledgement, say, "Hey, one time Indians owned this land, so let's put a casino there."
That's funny.
Just call
That's
it a
funny.
day.
I could see that.
I don't know if that's why, but I'm just.
So Rob Bonta, the Attorney General of California, who is in the pocket of the Indian gaming casinos here in California, went around last month shutting down the card parlors in Southern California who are run by the Chinese because the money coming from the Chinese was far less than this is Chinese Americans. The money coming from the Chinese for the card parlors was far less than the money coming from the Native American Indian people who were really raking it in.
Oh,
so they
that's
kept asking the Attorney General, why all of a sudden are you shutting down these gaming card gaming places? And he had no explanation.
Wow. Okay, I don't know. Did you see this story? This is an illegal immigrant. Now, you know, we have illegals here and they take all kinds of jobs. What would be a job you couldn't foresee an illegal immigrant taking?
Chick feeler.
I don't even know what that is. So
Okay.
I will go with you on that.
Okay.
How about a police officer?
Oh my! I saw this. This is great. This is great. Oh
So-
my God!
You have an illegal immigrant working as a police officer in Maine. Now, this guy is from Jamaica, not Mexico, but still an illegal. It does, you know, we're not picking on one particular country.
No,
illegals anywhere. He got caught when he attempted to buy a firearm.
Well, he needs a gun to be a cop.
Well, he was also issued a gun as a cop. So he had his issue
he
gun.
had his own.
He was buying
his
his
own gun.
private weapon.
Okay, right. He wanted to really arm up.
Yes.
Yeah, it couldn't ever cross his mind that he voted too. That would be the most bizarre thing he could ever do is vote.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's a police officer who doesn't break the law by voting, but he's a police officer from another country.
Yep.
And the rest of them never said, "Hey, where you from, man?" I
Oh.
am from Jamaica. Well, how did you become a police officer? Man, it's a long story. It's in the coconut, man. You don't understand my way of life. I was a police officer in Jamaica, which I don't know if true or not, but in fact, I mean, San Francisco has illegal aliens as vote counters for the elections.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong there?
I don't know. I mean, but keep in mind, this is Maine. This is the same state that had that governor who was mouthing off to Trump in the
That's
room
right. I
about,
forgot about her.
oh, I'm not going to follow. So there you go. You know, and that's why I never really complain about Susan Collins, because the fact that they even have somebody with an R next to their name, I know she's not a real.
How far left is Maine, Eric?
Pretty damn. Let's put it this way: it's Stephen King's home country.
No, I know. Stephen King is also from Massachusetts, but how? I mean, and Tucker's up there too somewhere, right? And the Bush
Tucker's in
family,
Maine, sure.
the Bush family was up there. Kennebunkport, Maine. I mean, there was a time that I recall Maine being red. Am I crazy, or was Maine red? Does anybody in the chat remember when Maine was red? Pepperidge Farm, the bread came from there, and it seemed red to me. Maybe it was just a perception.
Well, you had the cranberry. Wait, no, the cranberry.
Right. I mean, the Vermont I always perceived as being blue because of the college kids and everything else. But I always perceived Maine and the live free or die state next door, New Hampshire, to be red. But maybe times have changed.
Wait a minute. Nate, the lawyer's here causing trouble. Calm down. Your TDS is showing. What?
Is that? It's like a new quote. I think that's a bumper sticker now. That's a T-shirt. I think that's a T-shirt, Nate.
I don't know. That might be well. There's a T-shirt that I've seen on social media all the time that they show where there's a QR code on the back of a shirt, and if people like put their phone up,
what
it
is
has
that?
Trump
What is
dancing.
that? Oh,
it's just a QR code that loads up a page, and they have a page with that.
Funny. That's funny.
So yeah, that's been around for a while. Let me see. Makes my day happy. How about some super chats? Pamela starting it off strong. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday, Pamela. hopefully we see Pamela. I don't know if she's going to be at JFK Lancer, but she's in Texas. It'd be awesome if she can make it over.
Okay.
Dustin Russell. Biggest scandal not being talked about in sports, players betting on prop bets, sometimes during the games.
What are prop bets?
I don't know. I mean,
Proposed bets or proposition bets or
yeah,
property
I'm not
bets?
sure. I don't know.
I mean, look, if you want to bet on sports, you could get your teenage kids to lay a bet down for you. It doesn't have to be you personally, like Pete Rose. I mean, you could get someone else to lay. If you're obsessed with betting on baseball, the game that you're in, you can get your wife to do it. I mean, if it's that crazy, Eric, right? I mean, if you're that determined.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
it would.
Doesn't have to be you.
Well, my big issue too is, I guess I'm more offended if you bet that you're going to lose. If
People
your
say
wife
that-
and you are betting to win, then it's kind of like, well,
Okay,
you know,
look.
you're putting money where your mouth is. But
The betting on baseball involves so many different variables. It's not win or lose. There's a million little that Barnes has talked about. There's a million little things that they bet on. It's not a win and lose betting situation like football. There's more variables in baseball betting.
okay, people are saying in the chat. Let me see. Who scores the first touchdown?
Yeah,
First home
yeah.
run of the game.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah,
Those are
that's what
prop bets.
Right. You can't really control that. You can't. In other words, a win and lose, you could throw a game. That's not what's going on now.
All right. So here's the legal definition from Nate the lawyer.
Okay.
Prop bets, short for proposition bets, are wagers placed on specific events within the game that don't directly determine the final outcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's first stolen base. And in fact, even in the World Series, I mean, Taco Bell was giving out a free taco to the first stolen base in the World Series to the United States of America. Stuff like that. And people were betting on that, on the stolen base.
But if players are doing it, that's an issue.
Yeah,
If
they can't. They'll lose their careers. They'll lose their careers.
Or Cloud. Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base.
I don't want to talk about. Let me see. Dick Dickerson. SNL will be gone soon. Currently losing $100 million a season. Wow.
I don't know how much they're losing. It's a cheap market late at night on NBC. Not very expensive. I don't know where the money would go on that particular SNL. And it's once a week as opposed to every night with Colbert. It's within Rockefeller Center in a small studio as opposed to the Ed Sullivan studio with Colbert. The staff size is much smaller than Colbert. So that would be hard to imagine that they would be losing that much money for a one night a week, 90-minute show.
That's true, especially because I forgot who it was. Some of the players were coming out and talking about their first year or two that their wages are just essentially scale.
Yeah, everybody gets scale. Yeah,
poor as shit.
Absolutely. Gilbert Gottfried famously called it a famous restaurant in a good location that nobody goes to anymore.
Old. All right, $50 from base player 2011FI. If Trump tries to sue for likeness and libel, he will lose Deepfake or not. What? They have been sued for stuff like this multiple times in past and have won every single time. Moreover, if you mistake the last clip for him, go to an eye doctor.
I didn't mistake it for him. However, there are laws about deep fakes. Then why even have the deep fake laws? I don't understand I appreciate the money, but I don't understand. They have not been sued multiple times because it's a new area of law. We're not talking about parody and defamation because of that. This is a whole new universe here.
Yeah,
I couldn't have been more. I was trying to be emphatic to no avail.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's more entertainment.
Right. And now I have to go to the eye doctor.
Okay. Well, you probably need to anyway.
But thanks for the donation.
All right. Base player 2011FI with $4.99. Here we go. Also, if you want to know who Candace Owens really is, look up Social Autopsy. I'm well aware of social autopsy.
Who is she really? I don't understand. Who is she really?
Okay, Candace Owens, first
Is she
off.
really someone else other than an anti-Semite?
Oh, that's just part of her path.
Oh,
Candace
okay.
Owens came on the scene.
No. I know the history of it, but I'm saying, what is the social autopsy means? What you're going to say?
Right. I was going to go back
Right,
to
okay,
history
go ahead.
to
I'm
where
sorry.
she was. She
ahead,
first
go
came
ahead.
on the scene as with a doxing site that she created. Her father is like incredibly rich. She's from a highbrow family. It's kind of like AOC, big money family. She was dating different people, and essentially grew up in white schools. Was supposedly had problems with some kids, including either the governor's kids or like the mayor's kids in her town. Is it in Connecticut? She's like from upper, class Connecticut. And so she came up with this social autopsy site, which is a doxing site where you could fill out all the information about a person on that site, their real identity, their addresses, everything about them, which is,
like for revenge, right?
Or anything you want. And it took some time to finally get it taken down, but that's where she came from. And that was on the left. She was a total liberal leftist, said everything nasty about Trump imaginable, the whole works, put up that site. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
She's got a long
piece of shit. She's obviously a piece of shit. She's going to rot in hell.
All right. Bass player 2011 if I. The gray old lady refused to publish anything on Holodomor. Yeah. Why are you surprised they're still publishing garbage? I agree. Didn't they also say Poland attacks Germany? Very famously?
No, it is. It is. The reason it's because it's a paper of record. That's why it's important. It may not be important to everybody. I mean, I don't subscribe to it, but it is
Broken
the paper of record. So to deny its importance does not help its importance.
True. And Mike Schaefer, as a member of 6 months, said, ring that bell. There you go, Mike. I'm sure the subscriptions are flying in right now as we speak. There we go. I know everybody is they heard that bell and they're rushing forward. I mean, I'm struggling to even get the like button up. Where are we on likes? We've got right now 2,583 people are watching, 879. 881 likes.
Can't even push the like.
We can't break 1,000. We haven't even broke 1,000 likes. We got almost,
Why do they not push the like button? It's just too complicated, or
I don't know. I mean,
do these people have arms or legs, or just vegetables who watch us in a ward? I don't understand. Maybe there's something with the actual audience; they're disabled or something.
It could be. It
doesn't make any physical sense because anybody can subscribe. Somebody said on Twitter, I can't afford it yesterday. And I said, it's free, bro. And he went like, what? It was almost like breaking news to this guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mark, if they can't hit the little thumb, I mean, the subscription, I mean, that's down lower. And I mean, it's a whole nother order of effort.
Very strange. Very strange.
I
don't know how these sites have millions of viewers and subscribers. I don't get it.
I don't either, but oh my God, we might get there. It's 978. So 100 of you kind of came up. Oh, come on. We can do this. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it.
To spend my life begging for likes. That's at the end of my life. That's going to be in my obituary. At the end of his life, he dedicated it to begging for likes on YouTube.
How far did he fall?
How far did he fall at the end?
It's bad enough he had to be saddled with Hunley.
Right. He was saddled with Hunley, and they wore the same blue shirts every week to no avail.
Oh, people are great in the chat. They're like, what's up with the blue? It's blue shirts, man. They look good. Hey, Roger we hit 1,000. That's a good start. So maybe we can get to 2,000 eventually. Not holding my breath. Carl Burkhalter. Spencer's Tiki Torch boys left on the same buses that brought in.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about,
by
Carl.
the same source. Maurice Jones orchestrated.
Thank you, Carl. That's it. Thank you for the $5. That's what I needed to hear. Love this guy, Carl.
Randy H. Great show as always. Thanks.
I thought that was a swastika in the middle there, but it looks like some logo for being a member, right? Next to the H. What is that? That's not
yes. That means that they're a member.
Okay.
Dog Boy's been a member for 21 months. Pam Bondi, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah, I just think she's in over her head at this point and doesn't know what to do next, because she's been just tons and tons of stuff coming in there. And it's a question of, management, Eric.
I agree. And great point here from Fletcher Boy. Nancy Pelosi, 54% increase in her stock portfolio. The FBI would kick my door down.
Thank you. And somebody was laughingly saying a couple of years ago, just copy her stock portfolio and you become wealthy as shit.
No, they have a Nancy Pelosi index. It is actually out there.
That's funny. Wow, that's funny. Wow. Dude, you got to do something to this crippled old bitch. I mean, come on. Do not let her ride off into the crotchety sunset of San Francisco or die on the house floor like Dianne Feinstein did. Take this bitch down, the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yep. Bass player 2011 FI again. Fun fact, the U.S. currently has higher interest rates than most of Europe. Powell needs to go.
That's weird.
Well, Powell really is giving Trump a rough time now.
Yeah.
And this is why. Why does Trump care about the interest rates? Well, right now, he's pulling in all this money from the tariffs. What is the biggest thing we can do with the tariff money? You can pay down the deficit. You know what can help pay down the deficit? If the interest rates are down, then you're going to pay up more money while you're doing it.
He's lowered them historically during times of Democratic activity.
Oh, yeah.
That helped them as a political player. So he's been exposed as a political player before. Either physically remove him from office or we have to wait till May until he leaves.
Yeah. And who do you think Besant's going to take it?
Oh, I don't know about that. I never heard that. I don't know who's going to take it. That's a good question.
I mean, that's the speculation. That's Besant's.
I don't know that. You mean a gay Fed?
Yeah.
And he's so good as what he's doing right now. So I don't know if
he's a great Treasury Secretary.
No, but I'm saying I don't think he'd have the political latitude to do what he's doing politically right now by being in the Fed, because you really got to shut your trap to be the head of the Fed. Am I wrong, or you could spout off?
Well, I mean, Besant doesn't really talk as much. Ledick is the one who does all the talking.
No, but I'm saying he's been on every show since he got confirmed. I don't think you can do that as a Fed chief.
No, but he'd actually affect a lot of policy in Fed chief. So
I'm just saying, once you lower the interest rate, it kind of runs itself, doesn't it? Or what do you do over there? I don't know what you do. What do you think goes on all day, other than building that crazy building that cost $2 billion?
There you go. You're approving work orders.
You're working on work orders all day, but I think it would be a waste of his talent. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe, but somewhere to go. Let me see. Atheist Miracle. That's an interesting combination.
That's like military intelligence or jumbo shrimp.
Yeah, oxymoron for sure.
Yeah.
They won't discuss the terrible jobs report caused by Trump's tariffs. He's hurting the economy. Fired the messenger, and you're cheering him on. AUS are traders really rooting for American.
Is this guy for real, or
I don't know, but I'm kind of going. I don't know.
Sarcasm or what?
It's probably real.
Sometimes it's hard with sarcasm.
It's 6:45 p.m., so it might have been written before I brought up the jobs report, which I did actually bring up not long ago. So I don't know, but thank you for the $10. The tariffs will hurt others, but we'll take the cash.
Yeah, I'm glad Europe is now going to pay for our stimulus checks. That's great. Couldn't predict that one. That was a great idea.
George Toth, funny show, many laughs.
That's to you, Toth. What are we, clowns, or some kind of a clown to you, Toth? Give me a break.
I hope so. That's like the dead bell. JS, Vegas resort fee, service fees in restaurants. They're adding charges to everything, plus changing gaming rules like 6-5 blackjack casino ripoffs, and they have competition. Yes, and also you can't walk too far from the strip or you might trip over a fentanyl fold.
It's a grimy town, and I'm a New Yorker and an LA guy. It's a grimy, gritty town. Unless you even dealing with Uber, dealing with every part of Vegas, unless you stay even if you stay in the hotel you're in, it could be grimy and crazy because the hotels are kind of wide open to riffraff.
Yeah. And by the way, do you enjoy the smell of weed?
It's unending in Vegas in every fucking, not just the smell of weed, cigarettes and weed.
Yeah.
It's both. I mean, it's just a creepy, it always has been the same. And to me, it's always a place I never want to go.
Yep.
It's to me, this is just my person. It's not really a city as we know it.
No, I'd like to go to Reno or something because I think Reno looks like it might be beautiful, some nature. I don't know. Bass player 2011 New Hampshire is going blue because much of people from Connecticut to escape their own voting record.
Everyone's always escaping to some other town, other state to make it the color blue. How come it doesn't go the other way?
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
When a place gets emptied out, because I think Detroit actually swung a bit more right over time when people cleared out of there. But yeah, in general, nope. Daniel Friedrichs. Have you ever seen a what's this? A team stab their fans in the back as much as the Twins did at the trade deadline? What?
The Twins gave up. I haven't looked analysis of every team, but they did give up Correa, who was their star shortstop, back to Houston in one of the strangest trade deadline moves. And that is stabbing your franchise in the back, by the way, Daniel. I feel bad because the Twins normally are in the mix. It's a shocking situation with the Twins, really is. They're usually right up there. Correa, you can't ask me about Correa because he was one of the leaders of the Houston coup d'etat illegal operation against the Dodgers. Correa with the dwarf at second were the two masterminds behind the cheating scandal against the Dodgers when they were at Houston. So anytime any of these players show up at Dodger Stadium, oddly enough, Eric, even if they're on other teams, the stadium boos them for having been on a team they're no longer on. That's hate. That's real hate.
Wow. All right. Well, speaking
and he's
of,
not related to Chick Corea, the keyboard player,
or Larry Correa, the author.
Him, I don't know.
All right. Well, speaking of hate, we had this Florida school board chair. I don't know if you saw this, but this is who's running the school board. She said, "Oh, Hulk Hogan died. Great. There's one less MAGA." Oh, here we go. "Oh, did Hulk die? I didn't even know. Good. One less MAGA in the world."
Okay, so I've said this before. I'll say it again. The Alamo has to be at school board elections. The Alamo, before they get into power, because as Eric and I have pointed out before, they don't care about the school board. It's an entry-level Marxist position of hate, which they leave their footprint on and torture parents and then move on from there.
They also set up and approve material for schools,
right? But
and
that's
indoctrination
right.
stuff, so it's even darker.
Right, there's side things that they're doing. You're absolutely correct, but it is their entry point into American politics, which is what I'm more concerned about, and that has to be guarded, not because of the children, which Eric has pointed out, which is true, or the parents or the teachers crap. It has to be blocked as an entrance point because we have been focusing on jobs above that for years. City council jobs, supervisor jobs, things of that nature. They have determined smartly through the George Soros Foundation to fund these elections to get onto school boards. We now know the abuse that they've done while there. So that is where these fights have to start at that level. As tedious as this seems and as harsh as this is and how ridiculous it is, that's where they've gone. So we have to meet them on the same playing field, Eric.
Totally agree. And then on the flip side, this is just so sad. Fitness influencer Joey Swole quit social media because he did a Hulk Hogan tribute, which was this. Apparently, he did Halloween dressing up as Hulk Hogan one year, which is funny. There's
good.
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So he wore that and he's saying RIP to a legend and one of my inspirations to start working out. Kind of a nice thing.
Yeah.
And he had a massive backlash. So he quit social media, and of course he did the
I
apology.
owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person.
Anyway,
what's wrong with that? I don't understand. What's wrong with that?
So he bent to the crowd because.
But why were they
bunch of
upset? They
leftists-
thought it was disrespectful?
Oh,
The left went
The
after
left
him.
hates Hulk Hogan. They hate him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Hulk Hogan,
well, but
okay.
especially when he's MAGA and he's tearing off his shirt for Trump. But
I
come
see what
on,
you're
dude!
saying. I
It's
see. So he was ostracized for celebrating him in Halloween years back.
yes, and mentioning it now, and
Okay.
and so he quit social media. Well, officially he's back today. I thought I had the link
that's
saved, but
fine.
apparently he's saying screw all of you. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, I guess he's unapologized now, or
I did the Greg Budell show yesterday, and his guest host is Pamela, and we were talking about Sydney Sweeney.
guest
And
host.
what's that?
You had a guest host.
No, she works with him.
Okay.
She's, his assistant on the show. She's one of the partners. So anyway, so we were talking about Sydney Sweeney and how the times have changed because American Eagle has not pulled the ad. No, they have not buckled. They have not apologized, showing the difference between pre-woke and post-woke, Eric.
Mhm.
And Pamela had a great line. She said, they didn't even find out that her initials are SS, which I thought was a great line.
Wow.
Wow.
We were talking about that earlier, and it is so hilarious to me how stupid they are, because they went to racism on the whole genes thing. Now, the genes pun is obviously she's got good bones, and the rest of her, genetically, she is a specimen, right? She's a very beautiful woman. The other leftist trope they could have done and maybe had some margin of accuracy would be, they could have said objectified. They're objectifying her, but they didn't even do that. Screw the feminists. They got thrown off. We're going to go straight for white supremacy because we're stupid.
Well, the beautiful thing is that the leader of their movement in 1939 was Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, who famously claimed we're going to put these abortion clinics inside of the inner city to eliminate and lower the black population. One of the biggest racists in the history of the left is Margaret Sanger, their betrothed leader of Planned Parenthood.
Oh, and celebrated highly from Hillary. That's one of Hillary's personal heroes.
Did you follow this story? By the way, people who are following this, Wallace Annenberg passed away 2 days ago. The heir to the Annenberg fortune out here in Los Angeles, a huge supplier of money to LA, $1.5 billion last year alone. Her father famously was the publisher of a lot of magazines like TV Guide, 17, everything. The Annenberg fortune is enormous. She is the daughter of Annenberg, who passed away in like 2002. And she is now, I think she passed away at 95 years of age, but she was how old?
86.
Oh, 86. I'm sorry. 86 years of age and from lung cancer. But the odd twist to the story, which is now being contested by the children, is that she brought in a lesbian sister team. One of them was her assistant. The other one was her either relationship partner or not. The last 10 years of her life, the assistant got promoted to be the executor of her estate as an assistant. And the two lesbian sisters boxed out the kids and force-fed her opiates, according to nurses that they fired, and court orders where they were removed from the estate, and a judge ordered a fiduciary conservatorship person who had handled Britney Spears's conservatorship and some others to take over the Annenberg Foundation. This is a huge story. It's just breaking right now in LA because of how enormous the Annenberg fortune is and how it supplies money to leftist NGOs. These two lesbian leftist sisters may have been running the entire operation for years. What's that?
Quite the alliteration.
Oh no, and their last name is Levine. So the lesbian, the Levine lesbian sisters, neither one of them has any documented link to her. In other words, she's not married to one. She was formerly married, Wallace Annenberg, years ago, but she never remarried after 1979, and she's got kids, and those kids are furious that these two lesbian sisters have taken over. We'll hear more about it next week. I was just reading the LA Times story before the show, so there is more to it next week.
It should be interesting. I don't know if you saw this. This goes to show the level of craziness that's involved, the trans world or whatever else. This guy here, this surgeon, was charged with buying eunuch maker videos and charged with fraud over removal of his own legs.
I'm having trouble with the first part of the story. What's a eunuch maker?
I'm a very he bought
what is
videos.
What did he do? What did he do?
He removed his own legs.
Okay, that's his prerogative. So far I'm with him. He didn't like his legs. He took them off. Then what?
Apparently the site Eunuch Maker is featuring the removal of limbs.
Oh, like that's a fetish?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, these things, there is no end. I mean, they keep.
Oh no. Wait, are they now saying he didn't remove his own legs and he's a fraudulent eunuch?
No, they're saying
that he removed his own legs.
His legs are gone.
Right.
That part's gone.
He did that.
That's the charge.
Okay. And the videos that he made are real.
He's a specialist. He's carried out hundreds of amputations.
As a doctor?
As a doctor, yeah. He is a doctor.
Okay, so he's a legitimate surgeon.
Yes.
And he removed his legs for no reason other than that it's a fetish?
It appears so. He's alleged to have dishonestly made a false representation to insurers, claiming his leg injuries were the result of sepsis and were not self-inflicted.
So he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. In other words, he's removing the legs for fetishism, but he wants the insurance company to reimburse. Oh, that is a weird, complicated story. So he's lying to the insurance company, but bragging to others that he's a fetishist who cut off his own legs.
Yes.
But the eunuch part, did he cut off his penis also?
I don't know.
Like, why is he a eunuch?
Apparently, the site is called Eunuch Makers.
Oh, boy.
So
this is worse than we thought. Okay, I just want to say this. At the end of the Roman Empire, the reason that they got into debauchery was they had too much free time. The free time of the West has now led to the debauchery. I've talked about this for many years. The Roman Empire became so debauched because they had reached such a height of civilization that they started to do debauched things. That's where we are as a civilization. We have far too much free time. And if you drill down into like immigrant cultures that have arrived here who don't have free time, they have no problems whatsoever. They're not even getting divorced.
Their self-deletion rate is on the floor.
Absolutely.
They're too busy just trying to earn a living. Yep.
Right. The higher up the economic ladder you go in the West, and again, this is anecdotal, the more debauchery you're going to see.
Yeah, and you can see that. I mean, in Europe, a lot of like self-deletion is a popular thing, encouraged. They have little rocket ships. They all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But poorer countries,
too much leisure time. Too much leisure time.
Oh yeah, they've done this for years. Like the poorest countries in the world, a lot of them, their happiness index is through the roof. in comparison. Like
Right. I mean, you're telling me that these pygmies in New Guinea, in Papua New Guinea, are self-deleting and transing themselves to other genders. I'd find that very hard to believe.
and you would be right. But while we're this is not dark. This is a little bit lighter because we had that Coldplay CEO.
Oh yeah, what happened to that guy?
Well, he's gone. The HR director, I don't know if she's still there.
Oh no, she's gone too. She's gone also.
Is she officially? Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
She self-deleted her job.
okay.
Not herself. She self-deleted herself as a
She unemployed herself.
Self-unemployed herself.
Yeah, we can't say fired herself or quit. Who knows what you?
Who knows what she did? Yeah.
All right. Well, this one I thought was hilarious. Gwyneth Paltrow jumped into the mix.
Who's in a movie I saw last night, which is another movie called The Perfect Murder. Highly recommend.
Okay. Well, Gwyneth Paltrow, being Chris Martin's ex-wife, I guess decided to insert herself into the equation.
Oh boy.
And she went a little ad.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300 plus employees at Astronomer.
That's funny.
Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the experience of running data, ML, and AI pipelines at scale. We've been thrilled so many people have a newfound interest in data workflow automation. As for the other questions we've received, yes, there is still room available at our Beyond Analytics event in September. We will now be returning to what we do best, delivering game-changing results for our customers. Thank you for your interest in Astronomer.
I wonder if that's real. I mean, that's
I think it is real.
No.
It's pretty slick. Like what the actual? Yes, we're doing such and such.
Oh my God.
Oh my. I mean, that is a good way to handle a controversy.
Walton Goggins is doing so many great commercials right now. He's on with a series from Walmart that is just killing it. If anybody's seen these Walton Goggins commercials for Walmart, totally creative, totally hilarious, with different costumes, different characters, with items that you could buy from Walmart. You know, just crazy, weird items, and the commercials are genius, absolutely genius.
Well, he's a hell of an actor,
dude. I love that guy.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Did you ever watch Justified? Because he was phenomenal in Justified.
You know, I think I started to and bailed out. I got more into the comedy part with him. Vice Principals was one, and then obviously
Unicorn. I imagine you didn't watch that.
I didn't watch Unicorn, but I watched The Fabulous Gemstones, which he's little baby Billy, or Reverend Baby Billy. I mean, it's just an absurd character, but brilliantly funny.
And I've never seen The Shield. Somebody put that in the
chat.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, he was good in that too. He was good. That was good. The Shield was great.
I think that's where he was introduced.
Yes, I think you're right. Yes, very good. Shield. Yeah.
All right.
Michael Chiklis, I think, was the star of The Shield, who later plays Curly in an aborted Three Stooges movie. It wasn't aborted; it was actually made, but it was an abortion of a movie.
Well, Chiklis is another good actor,
right? But not a good Curly.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Mike Schaefer said, "Love the bell."
Schaefer. If it wasn't for Schaefer, there would be no bell. Apparently. He's hounded me to the gates of hell to get the bell.
The bell.
He's coming over to other channels, Eric, to hound me.
All right. Well, hey, whatever works. Grandpa gifted 10 America's Untold Stories memberships, which we always appreciate. Thank you very much for supporting us and others. Al Gonzalez. Mark, Netflix is investing $1 billion and bought Fort Monmouth here at the Jersey Shore to build a mega studio. More proof jobs are leaving.
Yeah, he's right. Thanks, Al. Yeah, I mean, Warner Brothers is laying people off here left and right. They want out of here, if anything, because of the restrictive economic culture of California. He's not wrong about that. But unfortunately, the weather is not the only place they could really survive, in my humble opinion, would be
Arizona would be a good choice.
no, I think Miami, because it would have to be a city that's international, a city with weather that is workable. All of these are weather-related problems, and having a large city infrastructure that they need around them, which is why they came to LA in the first place, was weather and have a city. But Florida would seem to be much more adaptable to their needs than Monmouth, New Jersey. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, but I still would stick with the Southwest over Florida because it's dry.
What do you do? It's 115 degrees out. They're not going to go there.
No, you have indoor studios. I mean, Florida.
No, but you have to shoot outside. I mean, you literally can. Everywhere around LA, even today, there's little shoots going on all the time. There's commercial shoots, there's short film shoots and TV shoots and everything. You can't. Even Florida would have problems.
No, boy, that's what I'm saying. Florida. You're talking about Florida? Or
No. But I'm saying it's a problem. There's really nowhere. That's why they're here. Is because they're trying to find a way out. And the part of the problem is the weather, and it's really the only problem. I don't know the Jersey Shore is going to work. Obviously, what do you do in February?
No, you do seasonal shooting. I mean, depending on where you are, that could be another option, I guess. Just shoot here in the summer.
Does anybody realize the Minnesota National Guard has been called out? Apparently, nobody knows this story, including somebody who follows me on Twitter from Minnesota. I don't know if they're still battling the protesters or what, but something forced the governor of Minnesota to call out the National Guard this week to battle protesters. I don't know if they're still fighting or what. This is getting very little coverage because it's a blue state. But if anybody knows what's going on in Minnesota, please let us know.
Yeah, sounds good. Speaking of Netflix and deals, you'll be shocked to hear that another deal is going by for Harry and Meghan.
I'm really surprised it didn't work out. I had such high hopes for this
$100 million. Yeah, they're totally worth it.
Yep, down the toilet.
Yeah, both Netflix and Spotify have taken a bath on
shocking,
Harry and Meghan
absolutely
money.
shocking. And I will stick with my prediction. She will leave the UK and move to Beverly Hills and take the child and get full custody. Never buckling from that prediction.
She's not in the UK. She lives in Messina. Wait, San
Montecito
Francisco area.
Yeah, Montecito Heights.
Okay.
Right, but I'm saying the separation and divorce will occur.
Yeah, if he could find his way back, because I think William is kind of saying, "You're done, brother. Get out of here." Mark Caffarella is a new member. Thank you very much.
Mark, you should have thought about that before you heard the bell. It's too late.
Well, Ort Cloud must have heard the bell. New member.
What's Ort Cloud?
I don't know. Fletcher Boy, speaking of crazy buildings. Oh, God. Have you seen the Obama library?
Yeah, I thought that was a joke.
I did too. I actually had to look it up.
Like Darth Vader's face or something?
I don't know. It's like a
what
trash
is that?
pile. I mean, I don't know. It does look like a B-level science fiction movie. Headquarters.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It was mind-blowing.
Where is it and what is it?
I don't know, but I totally agree with you. Hold on, and find a picture. Okay, this is the
where
is his site.
Right.
Oh, it's probably in near Chicago, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
probably true. Yeah.
I mean, this looks a little bit better than the other ones I've seen, but it's just a.
Oh my God! What is that? It's like some obelisk from a science fiction movie.
It really is. It's crazy.
Holy! What is like a huge door open up and you go in there on the side there?
I don't know, man.
That is creepy. That is really creepy. What is that thing? A clam?
I guess it's something there.
What is that?
I don't know. It's like the mini bean. Remember, Chicago's got the bean, which is actually another good.
This thing looks like something out of Apocalypto or something. Some sort of Aztec redo of some primitive Aztec empire building.
Yeah, it's something my dad would have called
what is
architect's wet dream. This is just different angles.
Oh, I
into
see.
it.
I see. Right.
But
Oh my
yeah,
God. Of course, there's a guy in a wheelchair right there.
whatever. That, by the way, that's the official Obama.org. So,
Oh wow. Well, hopefully he'll run out of money when he's got a lawyer up when he's indicted for treason.
Yeah, there you go. That's really it's the Tower of London in Chicago. No. Let's see. I agree with you though, Fletcher, but that's goofy. Boo Boo Bing Bang with $50 Australian. Thank you. Meanwhile, here in the Pacific Gulag, we have introduced social media age verification laws. Yes, it's very interesting. They're using AI to determine if somebody is below 18, or if the AI thinks that they're below 18, they'll stop feeding it, and they put YouTube on the ban front for anybody under 18 or whatever. So
interesting.
You've got some real social engineering going on
down there, man. They don't stop down there.
No.
Wow, they're really into it. And I predict that both New Zealand and Australia by next week will back a Palestinian state.
Well, they're Commonwealth countries, I'm sure. Going right along the line. Not super independent. PJ's Everyday Adventures with $10. Thank you. Hey guys, great show as always. I live not far from Reno. Well, certainly not as bad as Vegas. It's pretty funky in places.
Oh yeah,
too.
it's funky there too.
Right. Most of the homeless live in
they live in the
surrounding hills. Okay.
Right, there are hills around Reno.
But isn't it cold enough to keep them? Anyway,
they could survive. They're like cockroaches, bro. They could survive anything. If you got enough meth in you, believe me, it doesn't get too cold.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I will take your word for that.
Yeah, I mean, they could survive anything. They went and did out in Van Nuys yesterday. They took down a homeless encampment that'd been there for years. Huge homeless encampment. And the mayor showed up. It was a big deal. And they were interviewing one guy with goggles on, and he said he's a drug addict. He's on meth. He admits it. This white guy, young white guy, and he said, I built on my own with hammers and nails and pieces of wood that and I'll do it again. As they were bulldozing his ramshackle house that he built.
Okay.
So he refused to accept their offer to be sheltered.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he said, I'm not interested in anything like that.
Well, that's kind of like the people you were talking about.
He was the face of homelessness. He was a young guy with glasses, young white guy, admitted that he was a drug addict and said, I'm not interested in taking a shelter. I want to live out on my own.
Wow. All right. This is from Sarcastic Pit Bull. Hey, Mark, who's your favorite B movie producer from the 1960s?
Oh,
Roger Corman or Russ Meyer?
Corman, hands down. I mean, Corman had like Nicholson working for him in those movies.
Well, he had Spielberg. He had James Cameron.
I meant to tell you, and I promised to break news today, breaking news at this time that I'd like to release. Okay, so Joe Biden had a coach for a week and a half, 2 weeks in Camp whatchamacallit up there in the woods. Camp David, when he was rehearsing for the debate. He did not just roll off a plane and go to that debate and take Ambien like his son did. He was up there being coached. And he was being coached by a Hollywood director, which I just learned about, who was training him or coaching him on how to focus on his life and his struggle and everything else. And that's why his coaching part of this thing was important. And that coach was there, I want to say, for over a week in Camp David, Eric. I just learned this the other day, and it came out from Chuck Grassley, I think, of all people. And it was Steven Spielberg, who was literally living with the Bidens at Camp David the week to 10 days before the debate, training and coaching Joe Biden on how to express himself and to tell his narrative story of his life and upbringing and everything else. None of that happened. I don't know what Spielberg was thinking, but to have a director at that level of Hollywood shows you the intertwined nexus of Hollywood and the Democratic Party was really where I was going with this thing. It's way beyond anything we've ever imagined. To have not just a Hollywood director, that would be bizarre, to have the greatest Hollywood director of the history of Hollywood ensconced with you in a cabin in Camp David for a week and a half for the debate that became notorious for the complete collapse of the president of the United States in a debate, not only is symbolic of the collapse of Hollywood, the collapse of the DNC, but also the intertwining of the two cultures.
I agree. And by the way, I would say that is the worst debate in the history of
right. But I'm saying
presidential history at a minimum. I mean,
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But here
yeah.
you've got the greatest director of all time, and that's why it's been kept secret.
I'm sure. Well, and more proving that is who was the first one that said, finally, you got to get out? That was Clooney. An actor tried, same,
well, absolutely same mentality
and same crew. All right, Jack White. Walter Goggins is one of the voice actors in the Prime series Invincible, along with Stephen Yeun, J.K. Simmons, Mark Hamill, Jeffrey Donovan, Clancy Brown, Sterling K. Brown, and more. Okay.
I worked with Clancy Brown on Carnival for HBO. He not only was an actor in it, he was one of the directors. He's super underrated talent. He was in those Stephen King things.
I think he was Highlander, which they're remaking, but
he was in
Highlander,
the prison thing that Spiel.
Oh, not Shawshank.
Not Shawshank.
Green
the
Mile,
other one,
Green Mile.
The Green Mile. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big mofo, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's very big.
Like 6'6" or something.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big guy.
And he's got that damn voice. It's just like
very good, very interesting presence.
Well, and that's it. Presence. Like he's a guy that can walk in the room.
They were directing 2 episodes at a time. Carnival. I don't know what happened, why it went off the rails, but it was becoming too expensive, I think.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
Speaking of the voices or whatever, I guess the guy Ted, I forget his last name, who played Lurch.
Okay.
When I was in Atlanta, there was an acting coach that I was talking to or whatever. He talked about how he was on set with Lurch, and there was like a rainstorm outside, and Lurch's voice was so powerful. He said that they were under a tin roof shelter, and it would rattle the shelter. Like when he was talking, it was like literally.
Dude, I don't think. You think Lurch is alive?
No, he's been dead for decades.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Jack White. Mark, the other reason for them to leave California is because one of the major cities that has been turned to ash.
Yeah.
Because of the government corruption and incompetence.
Well, it's also the taxes. They have tried everything to ensconce them and to help them with tax breaks. It's so much more than tax breaks right now. The reason they're shooting in Ireland is because they're now leeching off of the socialist medicine countries to have pension and health paid for by the government of the socialist country that's hosting them as a film shoot. But they've run out of places here in the United States to shoot anyway. This is just where they're going to be headquartered, by the way. The shooting has all gone on overseas because they've literally run out of states within the United States to make it worthwhile. Because for 10 years now, it's been about tax abatements, and that has run its course. The tax abatements are not enough to let them shoot in the domestic United States. They need free health. And I don't mean healthcare. I'm talking about pension and health that they have to pay, which may be about 18%, 20% for each employee of a shoot. So they're picking up crews over there that have their own health insurance and they don't have to pay it.
Fair enough. One more from Jack White, and we're going to head to locals. Clancy Brown voiced Lex Luthor in Superman, the animated series, and Justice League, and he did a good job as Luthor.
Jack, you think anybody takes the Superman animated series seriously as a pop culture?
I think Jack does.
No, other than Jack White. I'm saying, and I appreciate the obscurity of the reference, but I mean, that is a bridge too far for me, even pop culture.
Well, Mark Hamill's the Joker in Batman, the animated series.
You mean as a voice or? Yeah. I mean, like, who cares? I mean,
well, there is a huge following for that.
Right. No, but what I'm saying, and I've said this many times, when you start promoting animated voices for a marketing device, once you're watching the thing, who gives a shit who's the voices of these characters? You're just ensconced in some animated show. You know what I mean? It's like it's used as a marketing device more than an artistic device.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Which is fine. I mean, but what do I
Except
think
for
of
the voice actors who are like, hey, wait, you know what? You
The
know,
real
there's
voice
no,
actors
there's
have
no
put
Mel
out a
Blanc
work.
anymore.
No,
you
but
know.
I'm saying the real voice actors have put out a work because Mark Hamill has
Exactly.
been
It's a
selected,
new-
which is ridiculous. It's
That's been
ridiculous.
going on for decades. That's a shame because the real voice actors are better, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But what are you going to do? Well, we are going to continue our discussion on voice actors and the
And that's
depth
the way
and
it is.
depravity of Hollywood. and
August
everything else.
1st, 2025. That's the way it is with Walter
Happy-
Cronkite and Eric Hunley.
The first day of August, right in the middle of the dog days of summer.
Yeah.
We'll continue on Locals and hope to see you there. Links in the description, everybody. You can go there. Join for free.
I just want to add, and I'm very excited about Larry Charles on Wednesday. Normally, I don't even promote the show, but I am excited about Larry Charles, who's written a new book called Comedy Samurai, director of Borat and The Dictator and Masked and Anonymous and Seinfeld and everything else. So we're going to have some fun on Wednesday.
Oh, by the way, we learned a piece of trivia. Okay, last one, Jack White.
Uh-oh.
Mark, listen to the
Naruto of Naruto. What the hell is Naruto?
hold on. Listen to the English dub voice of Naruto if you want to have better appreciation for good voice acting. What?
I don't know who Naruto is, but
yeah, it's
crap.
not really not our thing.
Yeah, wow, Naruto. That's that was the first heavy metal band I was in, Naruto.
Okay. Well, Mark did an interview with Evan Syed on Wednesday, and we got to learn Michael Rappaport's background. That
Did
he
you
is
hear
the
that?
son of
Yeah.
the club, his stepdad
Stepson.
owned.
I had no idea.
Oh,
Wow.
but that's what put him on the comedy trail to begin
I
with.
had no clue that was true. What a weird piece of trivia.
Well, I only it stuck out to me because you've been saying forever. Where did he come from anyway? Where did he come from?
I know.
So he's like Pauly Shore of the other club.
Yes,
in a sense.
that's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. He's Pauly Shore.
All right, so we'll continue this
Oh
discussion.
yeah, we'll go
in
over that.
Locals.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go to the bathroom.